Commander Vex 9 adjusted his optical sensors for the third time that morning, trying to comprehend what he was witnessing through the reinforced observation deck. Below, in Training Bay 7, stood the most ridiculous sight the Galactic Military Academy had ever hosted, a human female, barely reaching chest height on most species present, attempting to complete the survival protocol that had broken 13 seasoned warriors just last cycle. Remind me again why we accepted this creature? Vex 9 clicked his mandibles in what passed for exasperation among the Kethari. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Creeks, shuffled his forearms nervously. The Terran delegation was quite insistent, sir. Something about proving human worth and galactic integration. Creeks's voice carried that particular tone reserved for bureaucratic disasters. Her name is Maya Okafor. Age 19, standard rotations from the African continent. 19? Vex 9 nearly choked on his nutrient paste. We typically don't accept cadets under 30 rotations. Their neural pathways aren't even fully developed. Down in the bay, Maya was examining the obstacle course with what could only be described as casual interest. The course itself was a marvel of sadistic engineering, energy barriers that could stop a charging Thurian bull, pressure plates calibrated to detect the slightest misstep, and automated defense turrets loaded with pain-inducing neural disruptors. The final challenge required navigating through a maze while being hunted by 3 combat drones programmed with the tactical knowledge of the galaxy's finest warriors. Look at her, Creeks muttered, pointing with 2 of his arms. She's actually smiling? Indeed, Maya appeared to be grinning as she rolled her shoulders and performed what humans apparently called stretching. The sight was deeply unsettling to every observer present. No sane being smiled before entering the survival protocol. Attention, Cadet Okafor, the automated system announced in 17 different languages simultaneously. You have exactly 47 minutes to complete the course. Seal your results in immediate expulsion from the Academy. Neural disruptor setting, moderate pain. Combat drone aggression level, maximum. Do you require medical clearance before beginning? Maya looked directly up at the observation deck, somehow knowing exactly where the commanders were watching. Her grin widened. Oh, I'm good to go. But quick question, are those drones expensive? The question caught everyone off guard. Kriek checked his datapad hurriedly. Each combat drone costs approximately 40,000 credits, sir. Why would she ask about Vex 9 began, then trailed off as a horrible suspicion began forming in his mind. Beginning protocol in 3, 2, 1 commence. The first energy barrier activated with a bone-rattling hum. Maya approached it cautiously, studying the crackling field of blue energy that could theoretically stop a battalion. Most cadets spent precious minutes analyzing the barrier's frequency patterns, calculating safe passage routes, or attempting to hack the control systems. Maya picked up a piece of training debris and tossed it at the barrier. It disintegrated instantly. Yep, that'll hurt, she commented cheerfully, then did something that would haunt Vex 9's dreams for cycles to come. She sprinted directly at the barrier. Is she attempting suicide? Creeks whispered in horror. But instead of running through the energy field, Maya dropped into a slide at the last possible second, passing beneath the barrier's lowest emission point where the field was weakest. The energy discharge still caught her shoulder, scorching her uniform and leaving a nasty burn, but she rolled through the impact and came up running. Did she just? Vex 9 couldn't finish the sentence. We calculate the precise weakness in our most advanced barrier system while sprinting at it. Yes, sir. In approximately 2 seconds of observation. The second obstacle was a pressure plate maze where stepping wrong would trigger stunning blasts. Standard protocol required careful testing of each plate, a process that typically consumed 20 minutes of the allotted time. Maya took one look at the maze, picked up several chunks of debris, and began hurling them randomly across the field. Bezap! 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 The stunning blast revealed the safe path through pure trial and error, a method so crude and effective that it bordered on insulting to the engineers who designed the maze. That's actually brilliant, Curix admitted reluctantly. Completely insane, but brilliant. Don't you dare compliment the Death Worlder, Vex 9 snapped, though his own admiration was becoming increasingly difficult to suppress. Maya danced through the maze, following her improvised map with casual precision. She was halfway through when the first combat drone descended from its hiding spot, neural disruptor already charging with a high-pitched whine. Finally, some real fun, Maya said, apparently talking to herself. When the neural disruptor fired. A direct hit. The blast should have sent her into convulsions of agony for at least 30 seconds. Maya grunted, stumbled slightly, and kept running. Impossible. Curix breathed. The neural disruptor affects all known nervous systems. How is she still mobile? Maya reached the final obstacle, the hunting maze. 3 combat drones, each programmed with different tactical approaches, would track her through a labyrinth while she attempted to reach the exit. Most cadets tried to hide, using stealth and cunning to avoid detection. Maya cracked her knuckles and entered the maze at a dead sprint, making enough noise to wake the Academy's entire dormitory section. "Oh, come on." Her voice echoed through the maze. "I know you're in here. Don't be shy." The first drone appeared around a corner, weapons charging. Maya didn't dodge or seek cover. Instead, she grabbed a section of the maze wall, a solid metal barrier designed to withstand military-grade explosives, and with a sound like tearing fabric, it ripped it clean off its mounting bolts. What in the name of the void? Vex 9 stood up so quickly he knocked over his chair. Maya swung the metal wall like a club, smashing the combat drone into a shower of sparks and expensive components. The second drone tried to flank her from above, firing its neural disruptor at maximum intensity. This time, Maya actually staggered. The pain was clearly affecting her, sweat beaded on her forehead, and her movements became slightly unsteady. But instead of retreating, she grabbed another wall section, this time using it as a shield while she stalked toward the drone. "Oh, that stings a bit," she called out conversationally. "But you know what they say about what doesn't kill you." She hurled the metal shield like a discus. The drone, programmed for combat with rational opponents, didn't calculate that someone might use architectural elements as projectiles. The shield caught it mid-flight, crushing it against the maze ceiling. "2 down," Maya announced cheerfully, her voice slightly strained from the neural disruption effects. "Come on, number 3. Don't make me come looking for you." The third drone, apparently possessing some form of artificial survival instinct, tried to retreat. Maya wouldn't have any of it. She began systematically dismantling the maze, pulling apart walls and barriers with her bare hands, creating a straight path toward the fleeing drone. The structural integrity of that maze was tested against siege weapons, Curix reported in a dazed voice. "She's literally remodeling it with manual labor." The final drone made its last stand at the maze exit, firing repeatedly with its neural disruptor, while Maya advanced through the neural storm. Each hit made her wince, each blast slowed her down, but she kept coming with the inexorable persistence of a natural disaster. She caught the drone bare-handed. "I got you," she said, then proceeded to dismantle 40,000 credits worth of military hardware with the same casual efficiency most beings used to peel fruit. The maze exit alarm chimed, course completed in 18 minutes, 42 seconds. New Academy record. Maya walked out of the training bay, singed, sweating, and grinning like she'd just won the galactic lottery. She looked up at the observation deck and gave a cheerful wave. "Thanks for the workout. When's the next class?" Commander Vex 9 sat down heavily, his worldview crumbling around him like the remains of Training Bay 7. "Curix?" "Yes, sir." "Send a message to High Command. Tell them we need to completely redesign our training protocols." "What should I cite as the reason, sir?" Vex 9 watched Maya disappear into the corridor, humming what sounded like a human battle song. Tell them we apparently don't understand what constitutes moderate difficulty for Deathworlders. In the distance, alarms began sounding from Training Bay 8. Maya had apparently found the advanced courses. Sir? Crix's voice was getting higher with each passing moment. Should we stop her? Vex 9 considered this question while the sounds of expensive equipment being creatively dismantled echoed through the academy halls. Cree, do you know how to stop a human? No, sir. Neither do I. Send for reinforcements. And bill the repairs to the Terran delegation. How much should I estimate for damages, sir? Another crash echoed from Training Bay 8, followed by Maya's delighted laughter. All of it, Crix. Bill them for all of it. 3 hours later, Commander Vex 9 found himself in the uncomfortable position of explaining to Admiral Zorth Prime why half the Academy's training facilities now resembled abstract art installations. The holographic damage report floating between them showed a pattern of destruction that defied both logic and physics. Let me understand this correctly. Admiral Zorth Prime's voice carried the particular chill reserved for career-ending conversations. One human cadet has single-handedly destroyed equipment worth more than some planetary defense budgets? Technically, sir, she completed every course she attempted. Crix interjected helpfully, then immediately regretted speaking when both superior officers turned their attention to him. She just redefined the parameters of completion. Through the reinforced windows of the command center, they could see Maya in the academy courtyard, apparently teaching a group of fascinated alien cadets something called push-ups. The sight of various species attempting to mimic human exercise routines was both amusing and deeply concerning. Sir, we have a more immediate problem, Lieutenant Crix reported, checking his communications array. The other training facilities have heard about the humans' performance. Training Bay 12 is requesting permission to attempt the Maya protocol. The what now? Vex 9's mandibles clicked ominously. They want to see if their barriers can withstand direct human assault, sir. Apparently, word has spread through the maintenance crews about her unconventional methods. Admiral Zorth Prime closed his optical receptors in what humans might recognize as a headache gesture. Tell me, Commander, what exactly did your psychological evaluation reveal about this human? Vex 9 shuffled through his data tablets nervously. Well, sir, the standard tests indicated normal psychological parameters for her species, slightly elevated levels of what humans call stubbornness and an unusual fondness for what they term challenges, but nothing outside expected ranges. Expected ranges according to whom? Human medical standards, sir. The Admiral's silence stretched uncomfortably long. Finally, he spoke. Crix, contact the Terran embassy. Ask them to send someone who can explain their species' definition of normal psychological parameters. Before anyone could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. The emergency lighting cast everything in urgent red tones as the automated systems announced security breach in advanced combat training. All personnel maintain safe distance. This is not a drill. Oh, for the love of Vex 9 was already moving toward the emergency response station. What is she doing now? The security monitors showed Maya standing outside the entrance to the advanced combat training facility, which was sealed behind the Academy's most sophisticated security door. The barrier was designed to withstand siege weapons, orbital bombardment, and pretty much anything short of a supernova. It was also currently making concerning creaking sounds. She's not trying to break in, is she? Admiral Zorth Prime asked, though his tone suggested he already knew the answer. Maya placed both hands against the massive door and leaned into it. The creaking grew louder. Security. Report status immediately. Vex 9 barked into his communicator. Sir, the human requested access to the advanced combat training. When informed that she lacked proper clearance, she asked if there was a strength test to qualify for entry. And you told her? that no being had ever physically forced entry to the facility, sir. The door is rated for. I know what it's rated for. Vex-9 watched in growing horror as hairline cracks appeared around the door's mounting points. What was her response? She said, and I quote, "Challenge accepted, sir." The door gave way with a sound like thunder. Maya disappeared into the advanced combat training facility, and immediately the sounds of automated defense systems activating filled the air. Weapons fire, energy discharges, and what sounded suspiciously like Maya's delighted laughter echoed through the Academy's ventilation systems. "Sir," Quiex reported with the tone of someone delivering their own execution order, "the advanced combat training facility is rated for Class 7 warriors with full military augmentation. And humans are classified as what level?" "Unaugmented Class 2, sir." Admiral Zorth Prime stood up slowly. "Evacuate the surrounding sectors. Now." The evacuation was proceeding smoothly until the explosions started. Not the controlled, measured explosions of standard combat training, but the chaotic, unimprovised explosions that suggested someone was using the facility's own weapons against itself. Status report. Vex-9 demanded as debris rained down on the courtyard. "Sir, we're getting sensor readings that don't make sense," the technician replied, his four eyes wide with panic. "The combat drones are registering as disabled, but not destroyed. It's like they've been turned off?" Through the smoke and dust, Maya's voice carried clearly, "Hey, can someone turn up the difficulty? This is barely a warm-up." Turn up the Vex-9 felt something snap in his brain. Turn up the difficulty. She wants us to make it harder? Before anyone could stop him, he was at the control station, entering commands with the fury of a being whose entire understanding of reality had been systematically demolished. "Fine. You want harder? Let's see how you handle the Omega Protocol." "Sir, no." Curix lunged for the controls. "The Omega Protocol is theoretical. It's never been tested. It could kill. It's designed to stop a battalion of Class 8 augmented warriors." Vex-9's voice cracked with hysteria. "Surely that's enough to slow down one tiny human." The Omega Protocol activated with a sound like reality tearing. Energy weapons that could level city blocks powered up. Combat drones with military-grade artificial intelligence descended from hidden compartments. Gravitational manipulators designed to crush starships began altering local space-time. For exactly 37 seconds, there was silence. Then Maya's voice, slightly muffled but entirely too cheerful, "Okay, now we're talking. This is more like it." What followed could only be described as a natural disaster with a sense of humor. The sounds emerging from the advanced combat training facility suggested that Maya had not only survived the Omega Protocol, but was actively using its components for purposes they were never designed for. "Sir," the trembling technician reported, "I'm showing impossible readings. The gravitational manipulators are being redirected, and the Class 8 combat drones are somehow being reprogrammed." "Reprogrammed how?" "It appears they're now playing some sort of human game called tag, sir." Admiral Zorth Prime sat down heavily. "Quiex, contact the Galactic Council. Tell them we need to revise the threat assessment for the human species." "What classification should I recommend, sir?" Before the Admiral could answer, the wall of the advanced combat training facility simply disappeared. Not destroyed, not blasted apart, but carefully disassembled and neatly stacked to one side. Maya emerged from the rubble, covered in dust but grinning wider than ever. "Thanks for the upgrade," she called out, waving cheerfully at the command center. "That was actually fun. Do you have anything more challenging?" She was followed by a parade of reprogrammed combat drones, now apparently functioning as a robotic conga line. "Sir," Crix whispered, "your classification recommendation?" Admiral Zorth Prime watched Maya high-five a combat drone that had been designed to eliminate enemy battalions. "Quiex, create a new classification. Code Red special approach with extreme caution, unlimited snack budget, and a really good insurance policy. What should we call it, sir? The Admiral looked at Maya, who was now teaching the combat drones something that appeared to be a human dance called the Macarena. Call it the human-friendly protocol, he said finally. And Queeks? Yes, sir. Start designing training facilities that are less destructible. Apparently, we're going to need them. Maya looked up at the command center and cupped her hands around her mouth. Hey, when's dinner? All this light exercise made me hungry. Commander Vex 9 closed his eyes and wondered if it was too late to request a transfer to a nice quiet posting. Somewhere far from humans. Somewhere safe. Somewhere boring. But as he watched Maya organizing an impromptu sports tournament using military-grade equipment as playground accessories, he had to admit something that would change the entire galaxy's understanding of warfare, friendship, and the terrifying power of human enthusiasm. This was actually kind of fun, even if it was going to bankrupt the Academy. Sir, Kree asked quietly, should we send the bill to the Terran delegation? Vex 9 watched Maya successfully teach a group of alien cadets how to play human volleyball using a deactivated plasma cannon as a net. No, he said finally, I think we're getting our money's worth.